Hi guys, so I am back here. I got knocked out. I don't know what happened. Very, very strange. So I am back live. Please let your friends know as we go into the other piece. Okay, let's do this. Different. Okay, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. If you were on the other link, I don't know. I just got disconnected. I don't know what's happening today, but we are fine. We are fine. Let your friends know. Please help spread the information. We are back. I am live back. So this is going to be part two. I think part one just wanted to be by itself. Definiteness of purpose. Please let me know in the comments if you can hear me very well. And we will just rush through the remaining um, piece really, really quick. Guys, please help share this so that we can start. So I need to know in the comments if you can hear me very well, please. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me, and then we can fire on. Awesome, awesome. Please help help spread the news so that people can join us on this new link, right? Awesome, awesome. Thank you. We're unstoppable today. 30s. There must be something special about you guys. Last week was just so seamless. Totally seamless. So we're going to continue right now. And then right. So please help tell others that we're back again. And we're just going to go through the remaining P's. Okay, guys, thank you. I am going to go into my second P, which I started already. We already talked about definiteness of purpose. Now we're talking about profit, passion, product, and profession. And I was saying that it's not enough to be clear about what you want. You must be able to figure out or map out how you are going to get there. Okay, life is about profit. And if you would allow me go religious on you, the Bible says that even God Himself said, I will teach you to profit. I will teach you to profit. So it's not enough to say, yes, I want to become this. This is my profession. This is my passion. You must be able to transmute, like I was saying, your passion and your profession and your products into profit. So the second P is now you're clear of what you want. You are clear of where you are headed. You want to be who you want to be. The goal is to become profitable using your gift and talent, using your passion, using your profession. So you're not just going to working as an employee or as a self-employed just because you're like, let's just go through it. Whatever our hands find to do. Yes, I love it. Whatever your hands find to do, fine, keep doing it. But you must have a plan. Your work, your labor, right, must be transmuted to profit. The whole essence is profitability. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to talk about the importance of transformation, right, versus transaction, bringing transformational value in addition to transactional value. So I was explaining in the other video that in Africa, or Africans generally, we are wired, to shy away from talking about money. When it comes to money, then you start to see humility, if you permit me to use that word, like people say, fake humility. Like anything, I don't know. Africans can't negotiate. Africans cannot go for an interview and tell the interviewer what they would like to accept as compensation. Business owners are not able to say, you know what, this is what it is. But because you're like I went to buy something this morning and I was pricing something. The lady, obviously, I knew that it wasn't profitable for her. But she says, so that it will be the first thing I'm selling today. And I'm like, and you don't mind selling at a loss. That's wrong. When you are clear about what you want, you must be able to channel your gifts, monetize your passion, your products, and your profession so that they all become profitable. My question to you is, What do you have in your hands right now, guys? Please, you need to let people know that we're back. I see a lot of people are not on this call. Please help mention it on social media, on Telegram, and just everywhere. If you want to attain your goals, that definiteness of purpose that we talked about, there must be a clear path. It is not only by saying spiritual things or quoting the Bible. You must be willing to monetize your passion. You must be willing to be a blessing. You must be able to provide solution. You must be able to bring value to the table. You must be willing to solve people's problems. Do you see? So it's not that I want to become wealthy. How? God is going to teach you to profit. He's going to give you wealth, but you got your part to play. So in our 30s, the question is, what is your passion, guys? Tell me in the comments. What is your passion? What do you love to do? Yes, do it for free, but you should start to think of how you can monetize your passion, monetize your gift. What is your profession? Some of us went to school to study something, but right now we are doing some other things. I tell you, what you learned in school, your credentials are your low hanging fruits. Even if you have changed vocation, you have changed your profession, what you learned in school are still low hanging fruits. For me, I pay heavily every year. 3 qualifications from 3 continents. Even if I want to ditch accounting, I still think about it. Like when I'm paying my subscriptions yearly, I'm like, this thing cannot go to waste. So, what is your passion? On your journey to fulfilling purpose, how can you monetize? How can you learn negotiation skills? How can you start to put these things to practice, to effective use, and for profitability? What can you do? Do you get? Guys, we must think about it. We must consider how we're going to transmute our passion, our profession to profitability. So, I am meant to have a guest tonight, but for whatever reason, we are not able to stream live from Zoom to YouTube. And I see that my guest is here. Now, we're going to try this. I don't know if my guest, Lade Ayedin, all the way from the US, is able to. If you say something, I want to see if our guest on YouTube can hear you loud and clear. Lade, can you say something? I want to be sure that people on YouTube can hear. All right, guys on YouTube, can you hear her? Can you hear her? We're streaming. We're meant to stream from Zoom, but for whatever reason, it didn't work. So, guys in the comments, can you hear Lade? Lade, can you say something again?
Hi there, can everyone hear me?
Okay, so can you hear Lade in the comments? Awesome. So it's still gonna work. That means Coach Mayo, I can have you talk as well. Yippee, we won. So Lade, thank you. It's been a turbulent evening from Zoom not connecting, but we're here, and then network yanking me off at some point in time, but we're good to go. So Lade, guys, welcome Lade. Lade is my very good friend.
Welcome, Lade.
She is a big tech person in the US. I'm going to have her introduce herself just briefly. I'm going to ask a few questions on how we can, of course, we have talked about definiteness of purpose. We are talking about profitability, how you can transmute your passion, your profession into money. I mean, Lade has been out of Nigeria for over 10 years, if I am right. And Lade, just talk to us about yourself, your journey, your career journey. We're talking to people in their 30s who are thinking, oh, I'm probably late to the party. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get myself into the right career. Earlier on, I was talking about regrets that people in their late 30s have about the early 30s. And one of it is the wrong career move. So, Lade, tell us about yourself and what you think about, just smashing our goals in the 30s, just for a few minutes, and then we take the conversation forward. Awesome, Lade, go for it.
Sure, no, thank you for having me. So for everyone on the call, my name is Lade Ayediran. I am currently Vice President of Product Management at a hedge fund here in New York, where I lead a team of product managers looking after some of our infrastructure engineering products. So very take deep, like Shala said, deep into the probably the hands at several career paths within technology. So my background is originally in computer science. I did computer science in UI, and then I went to England for my master's in information systems. So I sort of knew that I wanted to stay on the technical career path, but quite frankly, I wasn't sure where I was going to fall on that career path. And within software engineering or computer science, so you can either, there's multiple things you could do. You could be a software developer, you could be a DevOps engineer, a release manager, a product manager like I am today, a data engineer, data analytics. There's just a broad range of positions or roles that you can lay your hands on or try your hands on within the software engineering career or computer science industry. And I think that that applies to other industries as well. I may not be able to fluently speak about other industries, but I'm pretty sure that there are multiple roles or multiple types of paths within a particular sector. You know, you could think of the medical sector, you could be an ophthalmologist, an O&G, you know, there's so very many things you could do. And so going back to your point, I want to make sure that I tie it back to your point about, you know, people having regrets in their careers. Honestly, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in, you know, making a wrong choice in your career path. And the way that I'm going to answer that or, you know, elaborate on that is just telling my story. So after my master's in 2006, I had made up my mind that I wasn't good. Well, I have thought that I wasn't good at software development, meaning writing code. And so I was fortunate enough to have mentors who had helped me throughout my internship journey, who were like, you know, you're great in technology, like you understand the technical concepts, but maybe you'll be a great project manager in technology. And I was like, yeah, that's the thing. I'm great at getting things done. I'm great at execution. Give me a high level strategy. I do very well with ambiguity. I can, you know, formulate like plans and ideas and strategies and execute in it. And so I went into project management within infrastructure engineering, and that was really the beginning of my journey. And so I did that for a couple of years, and I realized I was actually doing project management on a software development product that we were building at the firm that I was at Goldman at the time. And I realized I had an interest in software engineering. And so I put my hands up to become a software developer. Mind you, I hadn't written a line of code since UI. And in UI, for those of you who were in UI at the time, we learned Fortran and COBOL. So we didn't do Java or JavaScript or any of the like cool programming languages, right? But I took the risk of knowing that, you know, I'm going to try this. And if I fail, then you know what? I've tried, and I can always go back to what I know best to do, which is project management in infrastructure engineering. And so I started out being a software developer. I learned on the job. I had to take courses outside of work. I had to, you know, learn by myself. Like, you know, if it meant working to 11 p.m. at night, I would do it just so that I educated myself enough to deliver on my role. And, you know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did that for another 3 years. And you'll spot a trend here if you're listening to me. So my first thing was 2 years, and then software development, 3 years. And then there was a new career path in technology at the time called DevOps engineering, which was essentially a combination of software engineering as well as release management, which meant a software developer would write a piece of code and they only wrote the business logic. There was another person who took that business logic and deployed it to production servers, right? Deployed it to a host. In these days, it's a cloud, right? It's high level concept. And so I put my hands up again to do that job, because there was only about 3 or 4 of us at the firm at the time. By the way, no idea what DevOps was. I had to Google, you know, for me, it's all about taking risks. It's all about reinventing yourself when the time, when the time calls for it. And so I reinvented myself, became a DevOps engineer. Again, did that for 3 years. But I have to say, and I'm sorry, this might be a long story, but I'll wrap up in 2 minutes. I have to say that one of the things, there was always this hunger for, there's more. I don't know if this is the right place. I'm going to keep trying, because at that time, I hadn't yet found the sweet spot. And so for those people who think that, oh, I've made a mistake or not, no, what's happening is you haven't found your sweet spot yet.
Right.
And so do not give up. Try something else. There's so many things out there that we could be doing, and I'm telling you, you need to put your hands up for those opportunities, because they would nobody would offer, no one would have offered a project manager a software development role if I didn't put my hands up to say, hey guys, I think I can do this, I really like this. And by the way, I had also proven myself to be technical enough to take on that type of task and execute on it, right? Anyway, give it another 3 years doing DevOps, I finally found my sweet spot in product management, because on my job I found that there was a gap where we weren't interacting directly with our end users. We weren't really understanding their requirements. We didn't have metrics to track the success of our products. We weren't sure what the next features to build. So we were building from a technical expediency standpoint, as opposed to here's what our users delight in. And so I found that gap, because every time we'll do a release, nobody would use that feature, or, would have worked hard on something, and, clients will not find it helpful. And so I locked that gap of, let me actually start to, let me start to talk to the clients, get their requirements, what they really want to do, how they work today, so that we can tailor the solutions that we're building and deploying for them towards exactly what they're after. And so that was, honestly, it was an accidental thing. Me finding myself in product management was almost accidental in nature. But I leveraged every single skill set that I learned from being a project manager to being a software developer to being a DevOps engineer. I'm leveraging those skill sets on my current role. And I've been in this space for the past 7 years. So I found my sweet spot, right? But it did take a bit of experimentation. It did take a bit of hard work and sweat, and sometimes a bit of stress, because I was working ridiculous hours, but it was to better myself. And so I will wrap all of that up to say that there are no mistakes, there are no regrets. Try, experiment, be curious. There's something, intellectual curiosity is definitely a thing. Stay curious, try your hands at different opportunities, put your hands up, because they will all, those skills, the skills you learn on the different roles that you take will definitely come in handy when you find that sweet spot.
Oh, wow. So good. Like, this is a master class. Thank you so much, Lade. Now, could you confirm that these things happened in your 30s?
Oh God, yes, they happen in my 30s. Okay, yeah. No, that's a good point. They definitely. I'm still in my 30s. They definitely happen in my Well, towards my late 20s was when I switched to software development, but the rest sort of happened in my 30s. And so that's why I said I'm in my late 30s, by the way. So let it not be as if I'm in my late 30s. But that's why I mentioned the timeline. So that's also important. So I would do things for 2 years, 3 years. Okay, let me try this other thing for 2 or 3 years. But I also have to caveat that I was in an organization that enabled mobility, that enabled internal mobility. They actually promoted it, and so that was something that I benefited from. However, I have to also say this, that one of the things I've realized by moving around, so I stayed in this particular firm for 11 years, and since then I've moved jobs twice, and I have to say, if I were to do it again, now this is for me, this is not for everybody, but I'm just saying, especially in this generation as well, if I were to do it again, I don't know that I'll be in one place for 11 years, because I think it's important to also diversify your portfolio of employers.
Wow, that's another term. So we don't need to just diversify our investments, guys. Lade is my friend. We have been friends for about 12 years now. Lade, could you please repeat the role you are working on now?
Okay, so now I'm in technical product management is my current role.
And you are the VP of.
Yes, I'm a vice president in that seat. Yes.
Right, awesome. So, guys, Lade has said so many things. Just before you came in, I talked about definiteness of purpose, knowing what you want to achieve in life. And then I moved on to the second point, which is channeling your passion, channeling your profession, channeling what's the third one now? Your products into profitability. Now, you kept improving on yourself, personal development, right? You kept
Yes.
experimenting, right? You wanted to find that sweet spot because you knew what it was, you knew what you wanted. Now, at some
That's
point,
right.
it might not have been clear enough, but you kept going, guys. This is so amazing. And let me tell you, I have respect for women in the STEM sector: science, technology, engineering, right? What's the last one? I can't remember now. Now, when I see any lady talking tech, like my respect is like this for them. And when you see somebody who keeps, revamping a skill set, who keeps moving, who keeps improving on herself, and look at where she has gotten to. Now, I brought Lade so that mathematics, thank you, so that you could learn from her. Now, technology is not your regular accounting, not like accounting is not hard, but I'm saying when you have to move from just coding. I mean, she started out from UI, and she mentioned, the softwares they were using. I'm sure when she traveled out, I mean, she couldn't even compare. But she kept improving on herself. She kept learning. And she has just started. So this ties into the exact point I was talking about. Some people, it might be passion. I see a lot of passionate people who are broke. I see a lot of gifted people who are broke. You can't have a passion. You can't be gifted. You can't be talented and you're broke. And I was saying earlier on that Africans generally, we are conditioned to see money as a bad thing. Families in Africa think that because you're family, they shouldn't pay for your services. And like, use your gift now, use your talent. Are we not family? Are we not friends? If you have friends who are patronizing you without paying, you need to change your circle. Your passion should be monetized. Maybe not all of the time. There are things that you will do without monetizing, but literally those gifts and talents. If you would permit me to be religious on you, Matthew 25, the parable of the talents. The first guy got his 5 talents and did what? He went to instantly trade. A version says that. And so he traded with each talent, and each talent multiplied. Some of us are using our passion and our talents to do Father and Mother Christmas. And you are praying for God to increase you to enlarge your coast. Guys, yes, Ajayi, passion would not pay your bills. Some of us, like, I was explaining that as a chartered accountant, yes, passion has taken me away a bit from my profession. So from accounting, I've gone into personal finance. But trust me, I still monetize my accounting skills by partnering with people. So don't drop it. Those are your low hanging fruits. Now, talking about building wealth, talking about, making, managing, multiplying money. Low hanging fruits are things that you can easily do. Your gift, your talent. Because money is attracted to value. Money gravitates towards value. And I love everything Ladea said. It might not be easy. Sometimes you're still trying to figure out stuff. We all have regrets. Yes, I listed a couple of regrets that people have, on their journey. She said she would have loved, she wished that she had a more diverse portfolio of employers. I agree. Some of us, but you know what? It still all would tie up because your gift and your talent would also add up together. Last week I was talking about diamonds, 4 diamonds. We did a full course called Digitalize Your Diamonds. And Professor Richard Shell, I think of I can't Pennsylvania School, one university in Philadelphia, said everybody has got 4 diamonds at least. Your childhood competencies, your experiences, your competencies and aptitudes, and then your what he calls same skills, social skills, action skills, mental skills, emotional skills. Guys, we must transmute our passion, our profession into profit. Now you've got the goal, you want to have the biggest firm in Kenya, in Nigeria, wherever. you want to live a life of comfort, you want to leave a legacy for your children, God is going to help those who help themselves. We must be able to chart a path for ourselves. Thank you so much, Lade. I really wish people could see your face, but you know what? I'm going to put up a post after so they can see the beautiful Lade. If you if you permit me, I'll tag you in my stories. Thank you so much, Lade. It's been glad, so great having you here. All right,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you, Lade. Oh, Lade has just shown her face. Lade,
Oh,
please.
I didn't realize I could turn on the video.
Oh yeah, but they wouldn't have seen it because I am streaming directly from YouTube.
Because you're streaming to YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, please send me a picture.
Time.
Send me a picture, please, and I am going to post it on my page later tonight. Guys, help me appreciate Lade. Thank you. And I'm going to go into my other piece. You see, we are unstoppable technology. I mean, if you're not able to stream from Zoom, look at it. Lade called in, and we all heard her loud and clear. I'm going to go into my third P now. And the third P is having a plan. We have talked about definiteness of purpose. We have talked about profitability, transmuting your talent and all of those into profit. The third thing is a plan. More often than not, I mean, like the quote says, if you do not if you do not have a plan, you're planning to fail or something like that. If you can remember it, that quote, you can put it in the comments for me. We need a plan. Let me tell you, I know this is about, financial talks, how you can ace your games, how you can smash your goals in your 30s. But the plan is not limited to financial plan. Coach Emo, Mayo, are you there? We did a course last year and this year at the Smart Stewards Academy called the Fit to Fly Financial Plan. And we talked about 6 areas of your finances that you need to plan for. We talked about cash flow management, which encompasses budgeting. We talked about investment planning. We talked about retirement planning. We talked about estate management. We talked about insurance and risk management. And I think I can't remember the last one, tax planning. Emo, do you want to just say something real quick about the importance of planning? And I'm still going to bring you towards the end when we talk about portfolio. But talk just for 2 minutes about the importance of planning your finances, because I know this is an area you're passionate about. Go for it.
I'm clear, Coachy.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear him on YouTube, please? I can hear him. Please confirm you can hear him. Guys, can you hear Coach Eb? Or let me know in the comments, please.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
So I think you should go ahead. If they could hear Lade, then they can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of planning is so essential because you've got the passion. You know what you want. You know where you're going. How do you get there? The only way to get there is by a plan. If you don't have a specific destination and a plan to get there, any road will take you there. And in terms of your financial planning is not a one-off activity. Planning is something you do continually. You plan, you review, you adjust. Why? Because there are factors that are completely out of your control. When COVID happened, nobody saw COVID coming. Nobody knew what was coming to hit the world. Every company in the world had to do what? Press a button called reset. All the financial planning we have there, we have to. So in terms of planning, it's very critical for you. Number one, there's clarity in terms of which area of planning. The other fact, there are things in terms of when you talk about financial planning. Financial planning is not budgeting. Budgeting is one of the factors within financial planning. However, it is, I call it, it is that it's the pivot that actually holds that stand. It's one of the 7 legs that holds it. Do you have a budget? Have you thought about how you're going to get there financially? Now we're talking about financial goals here. Number 2, there is, okay, you've got that. Do you have the tools? Do you have the mechanism? Do you have the knowledge required? Have you got plans to actually acquire knowledge? Do you belong to a community where knowledge is being shared? Do you have plans in terms of when you make the money, what you're going to do with it? In terms of your estate planning. One quick example, when Kobe Bryant died, he had plans for his children, but the last born he had was not included in his will. So there was a bit of an issue in terms of If the other sibling says, you know what, you're not going to be part of that, they could have cut the last bone out of the will. But what happened? That means you have to continually plan it. If you have a will, review your will every year. You've got to reach every time. To be knowledge is a moving target, so it's like every time your situation changes, the micro and macroeconomic factors changes, you need to adjust your plan accordingly. We don't live in this world in isolation. You have to consider your pest analysis, political, environmental, social, and technical. And that's still the technology. Technology will disrupt your plan. Technology is disrupting the world. Is your plan based on, is your plan based on what happened in dispensation before IT? Is your plan based for artificial intelligence or just share information technology? So that's, I could go on and on, coaches. So let me stop on here. Basically, planning is not
okay.
You adjust, then you try again.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to move into the next 5 minutes at the most. The next P is position, right? The first one was definiteness of purpose. The second was profit. Right? Okay.
Just try again.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to move into the next 5 minutes at the most. Okay. The next P is position. I'm having an echo here. Definiteness of purpose. And the second was profit. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to move into the next. 1 minute, please. I'm just hearing an echo here. Okay. Emo, I think you need to mute yourself, please. Can you hear me? 1 minute, please. Okay, muted. All right, so we go ahead. We talked about, can you take me through the P's again? Definiteness of purpose. We talked about profit. We talked about planning, right? Now the next one is positioning. I have such an interesting slide to show you here, but blame it on technology. I'm going to put it on the workbook, like I said. Now, positioning is something that organizations are more what's the word? It's more of a corporate terminology. So when they say positioning, brand positioning, product positioning, and all of those things. But I think as individuals too, we must learn positional strategy. We must be able to position ourselves. Let me tell you, some people get things done. I remember just recently we were talking about a friend, not a friend, somebody who is an influencer. And people were like, no, he's just trying to position himself. He's friends with all the politicians. And I'm like, is there anything wrong in it? Maybe he wants to become a politician. And you cannot want to be a politician and you're not in their circle. You cannot want to be a personal finance coach and you are not moving with people who are teaching personal finance. You cannot want to be the best in your profession and you are not in the networking sessions they have. Now, this is not about networking. I'm going to come to people, but I am saying you must position yourself rightly. In your 30s, if there's one thing I wish I did more, in my 30s, I didn't belong to affiliations. I wasn't doing as many, I wasn't attending as many networking sessions. But these days, I have learned that I need to be positioned, rightly positioned, where I would love to be seen. Now, on my slide here, I have, like a quadrant for cars. High price, low quality, high quality. On high price and low quality, you have Infiniti and Mini. Low quality, low price, you have Citroen, Renault, Volkswagen, Kia. High price, high quality, low price, you have Toyota, Honda, Ford. High price, high quality, you have Benz, you have Audi, you have BMW. So guys, as individuals, if you want to get into a particular sector and industry, you must understudy. This year alone, I have joined a lot of women affiliations because you see, I want to be able to meet gatekeepers in the sector. I want to familiarize myself with how things are done. I'm not saying go and join cult. Oh, I'm saying that you need to be rightly positioned, and it's so important. The 30s is a good time to build that positioning, to be known for something, to be known for something. And I'm going to move to the next P because of time. The next P would be priorities. Your 30s is the best time. Remember, you have a clear plan. You have set your vision, overall vision. You have a burning desire. My slides are so beautiful. Honestly, I wish I could share them. This is the time. And this is the season of your life to set priorities. What am I going to do? What am I not going to do? What am I going to accept? What am I not going to accept? What comes first? Myself, my family, my friends, my business, God. I read a book, a life called The Life Plan. I think I shared it with the women in our inner circle by Michael Ayat. Beautiful book. And it says there are 8 categories. You can arrange yourself the way you want it. It says for him, God comes first, then he as an individual comes second, then his wife, then his children, then his friends, then his business and career, then I can't remember how he listed it. You decide where your energy is going. You can be spread too thin. Your energy can be going into so many things and you think you're building. And this is a good time to say, this is what I want. I know it. So these are the kind of courses I will do. These are the kind of people I will move with. These are the kind of literature materials I would read. This is the kind of news I want to watch. I used to follow Instablog, nothing personal on Instagram. But I realized that, some of the things I was always reading was toxic. Like, what? I need to guard and guide my mind. I unfollowed. That's why the unfollow button is there. Like, Life Plan by Michael Ayat, HYATT or something. Yeah. Set priorities. You've got to decide. I unfollowed. Yesterday I was reading, Toke Makinwa. I don't follow her, but I came across a post in which she showed a picture of herself with President Obasanjo, former president. And then come and see the comments under it. Tell us the truth. It's a lie. Gosh! Why? Why can't people be trusting enough? I'm not here to say whether somebody is doing whatever, but we live in such a toxic world where toxicity is the order of the day. You see young people abusing, shading, dragging their father's age mates on social media. No way. Too toxic. You must set your priorities. You want to spend more time with your resources, with your family than social media? It's your decision. You can decide to spend more time on social media in your 30s. It's your decision. Our definiteness of purpose, our plans differ, so it's okay. But don't castigate somebody who is saying that social media is not my thing. I am deleting Instagram for 30 days. If it takes doing that, please do it. You can't be channeling your energies into so many things. Honestly, the Bible says the strength of the young men, no, the glory of the young men is in their strength or something. The glory of the youth is their strength. I know there are 40s, there are 50s here listening to this, but your strength, guard it, guide it. Like, preserve it, preserve your mental health, right? The world is toxic, honestly. I don't know how we were doing it when there was I can't remember how the world was when there was no social media. Now, my 6th P, because of time, people. I'm not going to overflog that. Your network determines your network. Guys, this is so true. You need the right set of people. I was telling some people yesterday at the meeting, and I said, if I need to raise 100 million in 2 hours or 3 hours, like quickly use it for a project, amongst my immediate circle, not at the investment club, my immediate circle, I can raise it. It's not all about money, but I am telling you, even networking has to be intentional. At our Smart Steward Summit, I shared the kind of people, 5 people you should have in your life. Who can remember? A mentor, a sponsor, your network, your allies, and one other one. I can't remember. And then I shared some other set of people you should have. You should have a cheerleader, you should have a motivator. You should listen to that message. It's on YouTube. We must be intent. It's not just about she wants to be my friend, I want to be a friend. We're in the same group. What are you talking about? You've got to be deliberate, right? In your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. I don't need to go, I don't want to go on about networking and all of those things, but network upwards, sideways, and downwards. Now, the next and the final P, which is where we're going to dwell on longer a bit, would be your portfolio. Now, let's bring it back home. Building wealth, sustaining wealth in your 30s. We have talked about so many things that are not financial in nature. We are talking about portfolio. Now, building your portfolio, I don't want to inundate you with big terminology. Literally just says you are intentional about investments you're doing. Remember when I started in the earlier video, first video, if you're watching the replay, you can go back to it. I said investing is largely personal. You can't do it because your friends are doing it. You can't buy an asset class because everybody says, yeah, Wakanda is the one selling, Shiba, and then all of these things are just confusing to you. I'm not saying be lazy, get expertise, get knowledge, understand. 30s is not the time to be lazy. But again, you must have a strong conviction for whatever you're doing. You cannot want to please people. And you see, this comparison trap, even if you're not tempted, people will tempt you. Oh, when this person did this person, this was the amount of people that attended. Oh, this was what they did. No, this is what this person is doing. You are not doing it right. You are not posting well. Some people mean good, but generally people are just there. Even if you're not thinking about it, people are saying, oh, can you see somebody? She's copying you. How? Why? How? So bringing it back home to investments, your portfolio has to be largely personal. And that's why you need to get the knowledge for yourself. I tell people, don't say I don't have a knack for figures. Stop it. Or I don't understand. You think Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and all of those guys don't have a knack for figures? You can't want to build wealth and not have a knack for figures, guys. You've got to get, you've got to develop, you've got to build a knack for figures. Don't say no, coach will do it. Coach, as long as it is you, just do it. I don't understand. If you're not understanding in your 30s, when you get to your 50s, what happens? You must understand. And this is where we talk about financial things a bit. Portfolio. We already talked about plan. And I tell people, see, financial planning is not difficult. A couple of six areas you need to plan around. But the first is cash flow management. You can't build wealth if you don't have money. So the first place to start is having money to invest, having money to save, having money to live the kind of lifestyle you want. Getting to a place whereby your money makes money for you. Do you see? Budgeting. I'm going to put this in your workbook. I teach the 50-30-20 rule. You can't be even talking about wealth if you have not mastered how to manage your 30K salary. Those guys topping themselves, saying, oh, this person is the richest man today. No, it is Elon Musk tomorrow. Those guys have a team of financial experts working with them. Beyonce, Jay-Z, they have a money team. You've got to understand. So budgeting 50% of your income should go into your needs, 20% should go into your wants. Take care of yourself because life is once and the world is designed to take from you. Taxes, government, service providers, mortgage, rent. So you've got to take care of yourself, 20%. The remaining 30%, save and invest. So we're talking about how do you build your portfolio. Number one, have a source of income. Have multiple sources of income. Read Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. I've said it time and again. You can earn cash flow from 4 quadrants. As an employee, as an employer, self-employed, as a business owner, and as an investor. This is not an age where you will say, master of none. What's that word? It says jack of all trades, master of none. If it is because you have not identified the trade you are good at, it is because you have not mastered the art of collaboration. You can master collaboration, you can master so many things, and be excelling, like literally having monies flow to you. Because again, it is what the bird consumes that the bird will fly with. Your investment or your investing game would not fly, would not soar if you do not have income. So the first place, if you're in your 30s, would be how can I generate more cash flow? So this is what I am doing. What else can I do? This is an age of collaboration. Monetize your talents, monetize your gift. Are you still with me? What are the things I can do in addition? 4 or 5 years ago, I had about 12 sources of income. I tell people a credit alert, no matter how small, will move you forward than a debit alert. If you want to buy something worth 5,000 and you have 4,999, your card would be declined. If somebody at that point sends in that 0.1, 0.001, whatever, your purchase will go through. A credit alert will move you forward anytime. So do not despise a legitimate source of income, no matter how my friend calls it shame money. And I tell people there's no shame money because your bank alert would not discriminate. Credit is credit, debit is debit, and bank statements do not lie. Guys, we need multiple sources of income. So we are talking about your portfolio. Number one, get familiar with your budgeting, with your figures. Number two, make more money, identify multiple sources of income. Number three, start investing early. If you have listened to me at the club or any of us webinars, we talk about the different asset classes. We'll still touch on it, but start early. 20 is early, 30 is early, 40 is early, 50 is early. Early is when you start, as soon as you become aware. It's one thing to become aware and then you're not doing it. You're waiting for the right time. And I tell people, see, anyone who invests, who sends their money to work is an investor. Whether it is 5,000 or 5 billion, you have a right to be called an investor because you're literally sending your money to work. I shared the power of compound interest last week. I'm going to share it in your slides, in your workbook. Compound interest is you earning interest on your return and your return earning interest on the return. There are some slides here that I wanted to use as illustration, but you will see it. I want to move so fast now, right? Understand the power of compounding. So in building your portfolio again, get familiar with your figures, which is budgeting, earn more income. Number three, start investing early. Number four, understand the power of compounding, the rule of 72. I'm going to share that in the slides. Number five, tip five, understand asset classes. There are different asset classes. Traditional and conventional asset classes will be cash and cash equivalent, equities, real estate, fixed income, bonds. These days, commodities, right? Cryptocurrency is big. The world is changing. The dynamics of finance are changing. If you're in Nigeria, I know the government says don't do crypto. Even if you're not doing it, keep learning. Because one day soon, it's difficult to swim against the tide. It will all come back. Sure, we have started with e-Naira. And if you're overseas, we created a 70-day accountability group till the end of the year after a webinar I held with members of the Smart Investment Club. And we started, people have been every day telling us what they will do for the day. I'm reading about cryptocurrency, I'm reading about blockchain, I am doing this, I am doing that. So understand the asset classes and based on your financial situation, based on your goals, start to invest. Okay? Another tip is that you need to understand that apart from these financial things, there are other things to invest in: education, networking, travels and experiences, health. Invest into your future and invest in good food. Enjoy yourself, please. Do you see? I have like a pie chart here that shows how you can start to build your portfolio in your 30s. And I shared, last week I shared with the 20s, stocks 60%, bonds 15%, real estate 10%, other assets 10%, cash 5%. This one is traditional because it doesn't have cryptocurrency, but I'm going to come back to it. I will share it. In your 30s, I think you can still be aggressive. Stocks, right? Digital currency, because that's the future of it. I'm going to have Coach Maiwa talk about that really quick. You can do real estate, you can do a couple of other things, but it is important that this is an aggressive phase of your life where you must invest not only in knowledge, but in execution, right? Technologically enabled investing options. You must understand how the changing political climate affects your money. You must be interested in investing and news, not just Netflix, not just what else do we watch? African Magic. You must be interested in what is happening around the world. Coach Mayo, I want you to quickly touch on things that people can invest in, a bit about digital currencies in just 3 minutes, and then we start to wrap this up and take a bit of questions. Right. Is Coach Mayo still there? Are you there? Emo, are you there? Okay, I'm not sure he's there. Somebody help me get his attention, please.
A bit of questions. Right.
Hi, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Is Coach Maiwa still there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I don't know why there's an echo though.
Hello?
Are you there?
I'm talking, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but there's an echo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm not sure if there's somebody help me get his attention, please.
I'm here.
Okay, there's an echo. I don't know what's happening.
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you. Is Coach Maiwa still there? Yes, I don't know why there's an echo. Are you there?
I'm talking, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let me try and get rid of the echo then. Is it better?
Yes, it is. We can hear you now.
Yeah, okay, let me quickly. All right, then. So talking about technology and where to invest in. Like I said earlier on, we are in the age which I call it the artificial intelligence age. You want to invest in the future. You don't want to invest in the past. You don't want to invest in the present. But right now, the future is already here. Your coach mentioned we already have e-Naira, digital currency. We have e-Naira. They've got that in China. If almost all other countries are following suit, the United Kingdom as well. They're testing e-pound as well, working on that one. So the first thing is, where should you put your money? COVID just happened. The world will never remain the same again. Number one, look at technological and enabled environments. Number one, how is technology changing health? Look into that. Number two, in terms of digital currencies, nobody knows what the global currency will be eventually, which used to be dollar, but the front runners are still there. I'm not advertising for any coin, but we all know Bitcoin is 41% of the market. Do you have a stake in that? Do you know what Bitcoin does? Do you understand blockchain technology? You cannot be ignorant of the current environment. You cannot say, no, me, I'm not doing. They said that thing is risky. They said that about the internet when the internet came 20 years ago. I bet those days everybody was still carrying money around. Right now, what are we all doing? We're doing mobile transfers, we're doing contactless payments and things like that. Money is an idea. It is not that physical paper we're holding. The paper we are all holding is called currency. Money and currency are two different things. So the money of the future is definitely going to be digital. Let's look into the space. There are very good coins you can invest in. If the environment you're in doesn't permit you to do that, study them, get prepared, be ready when the time comes. There's something called the functionality of each of these coins. What solution are they providing? It's not that they do nothing, just for social. Even coins that bring people together, like Dogecoin and Shiba, they're doing something. They're for social environment, making us all happy and things like that. Find out the functionality of the digital currency you're going into. What problem is it solving? There's a particular coin I just discovered not too long ago. It's called VeChain or something. And that coin was actually revolutionizing, what's it called? Logistics. How information is being transferred across different channels in logistics. Oh my God, oh my world. There are some around e-commerce. I'm telling you, Amazon will not be the major player for the next 20 years. Amazon has had its time. That is why if you check Amazon's returns, AWS, Amazon Web Services, is making so much money than people know. So e-commerce will not remain with the giants. E-commerce is changing. Blockchain is decentralizing everything. So In a nutshell, don't be ignorant about this. Read about it, study about it, but most importantly, participate. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you.
E-commerce will not be one of the giants. E-commerce is changing. Blockchain is decentralizing everything. So, in a nutshell, don't be ignorant about.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for chipping that in, guys. In the workbook I am going to be sharing with you, I will share the things you can invest in and the percentages. But you can be aggressive. The higher the risk, the higher the returns. But again, has to be within the confines of what you earn, right? The confines of your goals, the confines of your risk temperament, and the confines of your age. Do you see? So I can share my screen for obvious reasons, but I will send those things to you. The question is, have you been investing and what have you been investing in? As I start to wrap up this conversation, here are a few things I need you to remember. The 30s is a good time to achieve your goals. It doesn't matter whether you are just starting or you haven't done anything at all. Like I said, the day you come into awareness of a thing is the next best time to start. So you're starting on a very clean note. I didn't start, you know, managing and multiplying my money until my mid-30s. Do you see? And you see, life is governed by principles. Once you start to do the right things, you would catch up and overtake. So, definiteness of purpose, be clear about what you want. And it's okay to dream big. So, when you're planning, you're also, no, when you're sure about where you want to go, then you're also mapping out your strategy, passion, products, services. How do I want to achieve this goal? Now, Rome was not built in a day, right? You move on to a plan. You have it. Sometimes it is not clear, but like they say, there is clarity in momentum. When you take the step, the first one, it gets clearer. Ask anybody who has built anything. It wasn't as clear, apart from the fact that the vision was clear in their minds. But in terms of physical reality, more often than not, it wasn't clear to them. So move from having definiteness of purpose into mapping out strategy that will get you into profit. Have a plan, right? And then what's the next one? I am trying to get my next P again in summarizing this. Have the right plan and then move. Okay, set your priorities right. Have the right people in your corner. Portfolio, start to build your portfolio. Again, it is not just about investing in monetary things. Invest in experiences. Invest in your personal development. Invest in yourself. Invest in your peace of mind. Invest in your mental health. Then talking about building your portfolio, we said start to interact with your figures. Francis Bacon says money is an excellent servant but a bad leader. A lot of us are afraid of money. A lot of us have such a wrong and a warped mindset about money because of societal influences, because of cultural dictates, because of what we have seen from our parents when we were growing up. You need to ditch all of those limiting conditioning beliefs, all of those limiting beliefs, all of those wrong conditioning. I was like that. For years, I would say business wasn't my thing. In my early 30s, I would say, no, my strength is in my brain. I can't do business. Imagine if I had been doing business like 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, or 20 years ago. Do you see? So get familiar with your finances, explore multiple sources of income, start investing early, realize and understand the power of compounding, um, understand other things to invest in, start to build your portfolio. Asset classes, stocks. You can buy fractional shares right now. I've said it time and again. $10, $20, 30 what of Amazon, of Google, of some of those shares. You can buy them on apps like Bamboo. Now, at the Smart Investment Club, we are the people and the tribe that you need to start to build your portfolio and to get your finances right in your 30s. If you commit to it, some people come into the club, They expect us to do all of those things. You are the one to interact with your figures. You are the one to build your goals, but you leverage the information we provide. Every Monday, we send out newsletters. We have webinars at least once a month. We have an academy. You've got your part to play. God has got his part. We have got our part. So if you're on this call, please share the link for the Smart Investment Club. That's a good place to start from. But beyond that, every year I run what I call the mastermind group. They are a group of 20 this year into next year, 30 people that are on the same WhatsApp group with me, that I share how I invest with, that I have at least 2 one-on-one with calls, that I have quarterly coaching calls. They are the people that can ask me questions and I answer immediately. And of course, we leverage people, experts. We have Coach Maya, he has been very, very instrumental. Do you see? We are talking about cryptocurrency. We can't talk about cryptocurrency generally. We can't talk about how you can leverage some other investment. Within the mastermind, there's an investment, there are private investments. There's an investment I introduced them to. They have been cashing in every month. So I am also opening up my mastermind to just 30 people. I know that we have about 14 people from last year. I can tell you none of them will drop off. So we're having 16 slots. Coach Mayowa, if you can get out the link, please share the link for the Smart Investment Club. Share the link for my mastermind. You can read through it, ask questions. Please drop our customer care line and our email, if you're there, so that people can have questions. Again, these things are personalized. These things are what you need to do, but you need the right set of people to help you. A quote says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. Go with others. So and if you live in Nigeria where the economic climate gets depressing day after day, things are getting better, I know. Or even around the world. Cryptocurrency, the blockchain concept is changing the whole financial literacy investment climb. So I was talking about building your portfolio. I know in Nigeria, where I currently live, cryptocurrency is not allowed. But I'm saying read about it. I'm saying get information about it. I'm saying get information about real estate, even if you can't afford it. I'm saying get information about bonds, about hedging against currency risks, about dollar mutual funds that you can do. There are so many things that you can do, by leveraging other people's contacts, by leveraging other people's access, by leveraging other people's time and effort. So I'm going to drop the link for the mastermind right here. You can read about it if you want to be a part of it. We've got just 30 slots for the next 1 year. It is pricey, but trust me, you will make your money. But beyond that, you will take your financial, it's like a group coaching. 30 people, we lay it bare. We do monthly reviews. This is how I have fared with my finances. People have access to me and they're able to ask questions about investing. But if you think that is not for you, for now, you can join the Smart Investment Club. Can somebody drop the link for the Smart Investment Club? It's a larger community, 30 countries represented. We have chapters around the world, and you can get to learn from others. We have a course, we have a wide range of replays that you can leverage to get started on your journey to financial freedom. So guys, I do not want, last week we were on the call for 3 hours. We have done 2 hours tonight, considering the technical hitch here and there, but I'm glad that we have been able to do this. If you have learned anything, just take a screenshot, tag me on your stories at Shola_Adeshaki, at Smart Stewards. Tell me what your learning point has been. Tag Glady as well. I'm going to put up a post with a picture on it. You can tag her. And then write out your action point. Before we leave, I want to read from you. What is one thing you are taking away from this class What is one thing you are going to start executing from tonight? I want to read from you, from all of the things that you have learned tonight. There is power in accountability. So tell me, what are you going to learn tonight? What are you going to learn tonight? So, what have you learned and what are you going to start executing today? So, somebody says budgeting. Oluwase say it's pricey. Go for what is affordable. It is not for everybody, right? Okay, but go for the one that is affordable. And pricey is relative, right? If it is important to you, you will go for it. Thank you all for summarizing everything we have learned. Definiteness of purpose, profit, planning, positioning, priorities, people, portfolio. I love it. I love it. So, what are you doing going forward? Obina says, I'm going to learn a bit about crypto and I'm going to invest in one. I'm going to convert my product, profession, and passion to profit. I love that favor. Investing my money. I want to see, we still have about 85 people left on this call. Tell me what action point. Screen grab it and keep it in your record. This is what I am going to do. Moduba says, I'm going to get and invest in financial knowledge. Margaret says, I learned to invest in knowledge, pen down my purpose. Thank you. Diversifying my employment experience. That was mind blowing, right? Winifred says, investing my money and trying multiple sources of income. I love it. Now, the reason I am saying write this down is so that you can commit to it. Commit to it because you may leave this class tonight and you're like, what did they even tell us? But if you can run with just one thing, it will change your life, right? Faye says, be more intentional about building my network. I love it. Oluwaseyi says, join the Smart Stewards Investment Club. I love it. As Smart Stewards, we have different platforms to help build the Smart Investment Club. We have a club for children. We have the inner circle where I mentor women, just general women issues. We do reviews, we do coaching calls, and all of that. We have our academy where we have courses and all of that. But if you want to be in a group coaching with me for the whole of next year, actually, you have an early start because we open it up in November, December, and 12 months. So you got 14 months of moving with me and other people who are goal oriented. It is not just for anybody because we're going to consider you. We're going to say, okay, are you truly ready for this, right? Awura says, start to build my portfolio. Ola wants to learn how to invest more. Dami, my shift about staying with one employer, right? Building my network, finding my purpose, and being intentional. Guys, if you have found this very useful, share the links. Remember, we have 2 links with your friends. The first one, definiteness of purpose, and this one that had the remaining 6 C's. Tag me on social media, put up what you have learned on your post, tell your friends about it. And next week, we will be talking to people in their 40s. Attend if you can. I mean, I know some people were here last week. Some were here, some are here now, some will be here next week. And then for the 50s, it will be the last Sunday. Amen, my friend says intentional about networking and building intentional relationships. If he says building my network, finding my purpose, and being intentional about budgeting and investing. Falaka says I will learn how to invest in knowledge and build my network. Ajayi, I am trying multiple sources of income and positioning myself. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Join the mastermind. Walk with me. Somebody said that it is too pricey. It is relative. If you break it down month by month, it's easier. Sometimes you spend money on what you really want. It depends on your goals, your value, and how eager you are, how burning the passion or your desire is. I don't know what your plans are, but it's a function of where you see yourself. And if you think, oh, this person will get me there financially. Hope says, I am doing more collaboration. I love it. I love it. Invest more. Guys, I do not want to keep you here another minute. If this has been insightful, share with your friends, share the link. Chinwe says, I think I understand what my definiteness of purpose is. I will move forward with making clear plans, getting more intentional about monetizing my passion. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wura says, thank you to Coach Mayowa and the SSIC UK team. I've started to actively invest with as little as £5. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, have a great night rest. All the best. Tag me on social media. See you in my mastermind. See you in my mastermind, right? Have a great one. God bless you. I love you, and I'm rooting for your financial success. Thank you, and have a great evening. Bye.
Hallelujah, somebody. They have slept in Israel.